Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Guys, we got some juicy stuff, all right? And it is another early update. Why? Because we are still seeing things, and we're going to say things, all right? We do have Nvidia earnings after the bell. I'm putting out this video before that. I'm going to throw out my likely scenario for that one. And I'm definitely going to be covering, we got two scenarios going off of Nvidia earnings. We here on the channel, we're going to be ready for both of them. I'm ready to take advantage of both of them. And yeah, let's get into it. All right. So guys, I'm going to get straight to the point. I am seeing something that last time we had a major market bounce. All right. I'm going to just point it out to the indices: SPY, QQQ, IWM, DIA. What do we got going on, guys? They all have the 15-minute bullish divergence. I know it may sound very stupid, but I'm telling you right now, I see things. I'm just going to say things, guys. All right. You have SPY finding buyers in the golden pocket again, as you have a bullish divergence. If you undercut this low at 494.45, I think was the low yesterday. 494.45. Yeah, if you undercut 494.45, even if you just come down and tap 494.40 and find buyers here at support in the golden pocket, you're gonna have a triple bullish divergence going on. All right, so you got SPY with the bullish divergence, you got QQQ with the bullish divergence, you got IWM with the bullish divergence coming right from the golden pocket. That is where you got buyers stepping in right here at your demand zone as well. All right, what do we also got? We have DIA in a falling wedge with the 15-minute bullish divergence. Guys, I think it's very likely that we are about to see a broad market, big boy, boom, blast in bounce, okay? That was not the word I was looking for. But you know, guys, a big beluga bounce is on the way in all likelihood, all right? I'm sorry, guys, if you don't want that to be the case, but I'm telling you right now, we had this occur right over here, and I'm just going to run it back, guys. We have like the analog of the setup we're seeing right here. All right, talk about fractal. This is like on a smaller time frame occurring here, but then you got this going on. All right, and where the buyers step in right here at the golden pocket again. So they're stepping in right here with the 15-minute bullish divergence. We got the same thing going on over here. Now, we don't have our demand zone that it's coming on right here, but we did come right down here to support, and that's when you really put in that 15-minute bullish divergence there. I'm just putting it out there, guys. I think a big bounce is right around the corner. All right, now I'm going to point to a few other factors here in this video. All right, they're not necessarily just going off the indices, but I'm going to point to some factors that suggest we're probably about to see a big bounce or, all right, keep in mind, there's a second scenario here, or downside is limited. We're going to sell off in Nvidia earnings. All right, but that is probably going to be very close to the bottom. All right, guys. We're going to talk about NVIDIA here, and we're going to really just, you know, look at the picture here, and I need you guys to answer truthfully, all right? We're actually going to come over here to NVIDIA. Before we go any further, I just want to talk about it because it is the big boy right after close today. We're going to talk about it, all right? So here on the weekly chart, you saw there was an arrow there. Why was there an arrow there? Because the last two big weekly red candlesticks we had, there was one more week of downside, and it marked the bottom. All right, and then you started bouncing, meaning you bought 30-day out calls in the next week on Monday, or the next week on Monday. You made a bag. All right, bring it all the way back to 60 days. All right, guys, get some safety. You still made a bag. All right, guys, you had one right here. Oh, what happened the next week? It marked the bottom. I don't think we're going to be going through a NVIDIA bear market right over here. This is what happened in 2022. It sold off with the whole market. We got a market that's at fresh all-time highs, baby, and it's looking like this. If you come back down here, you're going to get bought up. All right? I told you guys, we had a weekly candlestick on SPY last week that either suggested we're going to be, you know, trading flat here this week. We're not just going to sell automatically. We could sell automatically. I just pointed out. All right, people want to say that's a hangman candlestick. Yeah, cool. All right, I don't even look at it like that. I look at it like, hey, I know the psychology behind that candlestick. All right, you had buyers take you up here. Okay, then sellers took you down. They flushed you. And then guess what? Buyers saved the day, and they closed you right around where you opened the week at. All right, there's the psychology behind that candlestick. We don't need to refer to it as a bearish hanging man candlestick. Guess what? You had a bearish hanging man candlestick right here, and you went higher the next week. All right. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You had a bearish hangman candlestick. You went higher the next week. You had a bearish hangman candlestick. You went, you didn't go lower next week. You consolidated, and then you went higher the following week. Guys, people call it the bearish hangman candlestick. Go find some tops here on this weekly chart that got marked by a bearish hangman candlestick. Right here, you got the bearish hangman candlestick. Guess what? You went higher the next week. Doesn't matter if you only slightly went higher. You went higher. That's what I was pointing out in the weekly update. I don't think you're just going to sell right away. And I also think we got a juicy setup here to bounce across the board. You also had a hammer candlestick forming yesterday. As buyers are still showing up. Now I'm going to bring it over here. We're going to still talk about NVIDIA because I didn't finish saying what I wanted to say about NVIDIA. Not even close. All right. Right over here on VIX, guys. I'm going to put this back up. You're going to see the 65 level on the RSI. Guys, every single top of the last few years, unless you're crashing like this COVID crash right over here, you stalled out within 3 trading sessions of going over here, which meant if you bought calls on SPY, all right, if you bought calls, we're just going to say 30 days out, just so you don't really have to worry about theta. If you bought calls on SPY, every single time this signal has popped up, you at least caught some sort of bounce. All right, you at least, we're going to say you got your 30 to 50% gainer there, if not more, because these typically mark the top. All right, they mark short-term tops, and then eventually you're going to have the major top, guys. We're in a bull market. All right, VIX is winding up. We're looking for the VIX crush over here. You got crushed 20-something%. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, if you sell hard off of NVIDIA earnings, VIX is going to freaking skyrocket. The RSI is going to be up here. And I understand it could sound as stupid as you think it is. But, go back, check my work. Okay? Go fact check my work. Back check, fact check, go back test my work. All right? And I think if you follow along with my work each and every day here on this channel, I think you're going to have a pretty good time. I think you also might make a decent amount of coin because you're not going to be on the wrong side of the trade the vast majority of the time. Because, guys, I understand I'm a contrarian here on this channel. But do you think I want to be a contrarian? No, I don't want to be a contrarian. I do want to be a contrarian. Do you think I want to get hate? No, I don't want to get hate. I want support. I'll tell you right now, every single time I have one of these contrarian videos, I get hate at first. I get told, we're not going to call it hate. We're going to say the opposing viewers, people with opposing viewpoints, they will sit there telling me I'm wrong. Not this time, Henry. But guys, it typically keeps happening. Yes, this time, Henry. Okay? So VIX, if you have a down day tomorrow, this thing's going to be back up here, this thing's going to be back up there, and I'm going to be saying the same thing. Downside's limited, baby. All right? Come over here to SPY. I understand you got this big old bearish divergence. I don't think it's going to play out right now. I don't. I think, yeah, if you gap down off NVIDIA earnings, this is probably going to get burned. You're probably going to open up down here. And then what are we going to be watching, guys? This big, all right, where you found buyers over here from here to here. Because you didn't take out this high here. This retracement here is still in play. We're going to be watching for buyers to step in over here. All right? Doesn't matter how you spin this. I'm not bearish on this market, guys. I'm not. Come over here to QQQ. You have a potential. Falling wedge in play. All right? A big boy. You come up here. You don't find buyer. You don't find sellers step into the gold pocket. You're going to break out of this big boy. All right? Now, I'm also going to point out what I pointed out in yesterday's video. You got the bullish divergence going on here on the hourly RSI. I'm just saying, guys, things ain't looking too bad. You come over here to IWM. Your hourly RSI happens to almost be oversold. If you continue to sell, you're probably going to come down here to 195.60, where the 0.786 is. It's going to align with your break and retest, your demand zone, all right? And the hourly RSI is going to be oversold. All right? Again, not looking too bad. Really not looking too bad. Do you guys want to see a pattern that I've been watching for a while now? It happens to be pretty beautiful. You see buyers stepping in at the golden pocket right there on the hourly time frame, baby. You want to see it again? There you go. You saw buyers stepping in over here. Guess what? All right. Is this going to be the third time? I don't know. Is it finally going to roll over? I don't know. But I'm going to be bullish until proven otherwise, because we got a setup to be bullish on. Now let's talk about some individual tickers here. I'm not talking about my setups. I'm talking about why do I think there is a broad market bounce incoming. I think it's so close, guys. I really do. All right, even like without this, extended hours, you have the 4-hour bullish divergence going on here. Your daily RSI is all the way down here. All right, this is the biggest boy out of all of the boys. Okay, You come over here to extended hours, you have a 4-hour bullish divergence going on as you were in oversold territory. You've been dancing around here, and it looks like you're doing a thing. All right? You're going to come over here now to AMD. All right? AMD is another big boy. AMD is a chip stock. Probably going to have some movement off in NVIDIA. I'll tell you right now, you got the 4-hour RSI, yes, extended hours. You got the 4-hour RSI oversold. What has marked the bottoms over the last few years? We're going to disclude our bear market where you just died and you kind of stayed dead for a long time. We're talking about the bull market because we're specifically in a bull market. All right? So when did this thing start trekking upwards and was just consistently in an uptrend? During the bull market, 2023, baby. Well, where did all of our bottoms get put in? Where we are right now. All right? And you're also right here at the bottom of this big trading range. I'm sure a lot of people are getting scared. I'm going to tell you, this thing has disappointed the living crap out of me. But I'm telling you right now, I do think selling right here out of calls that you're down on, I think you're going to regret it in like a week. I do. I think you are very likely going to be right back at the same spot we were. And how unfortunate is that? Yeah, it is. I'm not saying you're going to get a breakout, but I think you're going to bounce back up. This thing's a troll. Okay? You come over here to Microsoft. All right? And what do we got going on Microsoft? We have a big old fallen wedge going on here. You can actually see it on regular hours as well, but I drew it on extended hours. Where did you find buyers today stepping in at? Right here in your demand zone. All right? You have this setup before a big market catalyst. Everybody knows NVIDIA is going to be a big boy. All right? And this other big boy is setting up like this with the hammer candlestick going on. I don't buy it. All right? Again, with these bottoms, guys, you've been marking your bottoms with these oversold 4-hour RSIs for a while now. It happens. You can go a little slower. You can, but you're going to freaking bottom out down here. You have a reversal setup. Come over our big boy Goog. What's happening today? You're breaking out of your downsloping channel that we pointed out yesterday. You also do have the 4-hour RSI looking the same, and now it's curling up. You come over to Amazon. What happened as well? You broke out of your freaking falling wedge. Drawn on the hourly time frame. All right, you're doing a thing. Well, nah, that is a freaking sick, nasty rejection right there, baby. I see that one. All right, regardless, you have this going on, and it doesn't look too bad. It really does not look too shabby. All right, but again, with the 4-hour RSI, I don't want people to think I rely solely on the 4-hour RSI or just the RSI in general. Just know, guys, we do follow price action for the most part. That's where we're going to be spending the most time. But when I see things like this across the board, why am I not going to spend time talking about these things? All right, there's no reason not to talk about these things. This is a condition that every time it's popped up on certain tickers, guess what? It marks the bottoms. All right. And when you have that on, overwhelmingly all the tickers we're looking at, there you go. You're probably going to be seeing a bounce. Come over here to NVIDIA. And again, complete gamble. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow off NVIDIA earnings, but I will point out the same thing I was just pointing out. Your 4-hour RSI is oversold. Okay. It could get really freaking oversold and we could fall 10 to 20%. But now let's look at what happens if you fall 10 to 20%. Guys, who is not going to buy this dip? Are you going to see NVIDIA down at 550 and you're not going to buy that dip? You're not going to buy 30-day out calls? Are you not there with me? All right. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. But I'll tell you right now, if I see this thing down here, I am freaking doing exactly that. This thing's probably going to have a quick run up. All right. A quick 10 to 20% run up. All right, guys. That could be a $100 move that you get to catch. Okay. This is how I'm looking at it. This is my broad market perspective right now. And that's why I'm making an early video today going in to these earnings. Because I want you guys to know I'm bullish on this dip, baby. And if we get the dip, we got to be bullish on the dip, baby. All right? And if we don't get the dip, then we get to see the stuff that we're talking about today in this video. We get to see some life given into it. All right? Either NVIDIA tanks you tomorrow, it trades you flat, and if it trades flat, I suspect we're going to see everything I'm talking about, all the bullish stuff we're talking about right now. I think it's going to be playing out if it trades flat. All right? Or it gaps you up. And it gives life to all these. Okay? So you got a gap up, you got a gap down, it trades flat. 2 out of 3 scenarios were bullish. Well, 3 out of 3 scenarios were bullish. In the short term, 2 out of 3 were bullish. In the midterm, where we start loading the freaking boat is going to be on that third scenario in which NVIDIA tanks the market. All right. It does not have a large weighting in SPY. I think it's a 4% weighting. All right. I think that's what I saw this morning. So I'm just saying, even if it does tank 20%, it's not going to kill SPY. It could give some negative sentiment, but I'm just going to come back over this NVIDIA chart. Guys, everyone's probably going to crap their pants, be like, holy crap, the leg down on the market's finally coming, and you're going to have NVIDIA down here. Daily RSI would be down here, all right? And you would be right down here, maybe at the golden pocket, maybe it's right here, right? But I also want to point out, all right, a pullback is not the end, okay? It's not the end of the world. You're literally pulling back right from the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, all right? Take it from here to the high here, and then you're literally stalling out pretty much exactly on there, all right? High was 746. You can see right there, 745. Not going to be exact numbers right there, but guess what? Pullback is healthy. If you get the healthy pullback, we buy the pullback. It's as easy as that. You don't. When I say we, you're not going to do anything, all right? You're going to make up that own, you got your own decision-making processes, okay? Guess what? When I say we, I talk about me, all right? I buy the dip heavy if I get it, because this thing has ripped faces for a very long time. And if people think it's just going to stop ripping faces until proven otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. That's you just trying to throw out a prediction that is extremely unlikely, because it is continuously ripped faces and you haven't been proven that it was going to stop. You had a chance to roll over here. You didn't. You found buyers right here at support. Guys, even if you have a mega sell-off all the way back down to $500 and this thing falls $300 freaking dollars from the high, all right, 240 from the high, guess what? All right, buyers are going to step in like you haven't seen before. All right, there's money on the side. We all saw SMCI go. I am sure if we got a dip, NVIDIA is going to be eaten up. All right, so those are my thoughts going into today's close. Technically, my thoughts going into tomorrow, because, you know, after the close, it's going to be dictating what we, yeah. All right. I'm either looking at a bounce right now. These are my two short-term scenarios, or we're going to undercut this low, put another point of divergence here on the 15-minute chart, and then we are going to be having a big old bounce. All right. It all will come down to NVIDIA, but I just explained why I am bullish on every single one of those scenarios. And if you want the highest probability bet that I can point to right now, it's going to be Apple. I'm not saying you buy in right now. You could do whatever you want. Whatever you want. But I'll tell you right now, past 3 times we had this, 4 times we had this thing popping up. It marked a major bottom. And you got a big old bounce. All right? Even just here, $7 bounce before you came back to the golden pocket and found buyers. Then you had a $16 bounce from that low. Okay? Right here, you had a $11 bounce from that low. Guys, it's been loading. Okay? Like, we had this bounce like that. Not saying that's loading, but I am saying you have a reversal like setup here. You got a big old pennant going on here. Falling wedge, whatever you want to call this thing. You got it. You break out from it. Probably going to revisit these highs. That is your big boy move right there. That is a $16 move. Okay? Yeah, best risk reward I can point to right now is going to be Apple. Why? I'll reiterate what I did in, you know, over the last few videos when I brought up Apple. All right, moving average. Simple. We're going to come over here. We're going to click on 200. We're not going to click. We're going to type 200. We're going to make that a white line because that's what I like my 200 being. The other one is already blue. And then guess what? You got the daily RSI already being oversold. And then guess what? You're going to literally have the golden pocket sitting down here right above where buyers stepped in. You come down to 178.80, 179, you're probably going to get buyers stepping in. I also point out, you can undercut this 200 MA. It could take some time. All right? But if you do, it's going to bring you right to the bottom of this pennant. It's going to also bring you to the golden pocket. So it's going to also bring that daily RSI into oversold territory, just like over here. And then you very much so can witness your major bottom. All right, guys? You're buying a lot of time on Apple. I salute you. And, yeah. All right, guys. So now we'll talk about some setups. Okay? We got OXY given an entry today. OXY, you didn't hit my alert. I thought it did. That sucks. All right, CELH, that's where you have giving an entry today. You literally just came back, you tapped the 9. I think this setup looks immaculate. I think, hey, all right, you buy 30 days out. I think this thing wants to push highs, whether it has the deeper pullback or not. Yeah, you're going to be sitting in some red, but I think, yeah, you're going to be pushing up to these highs. All right, that's very clearly where this chart wants to go to me. And yeah, that is what I'm looking for. So this is the break and retest. This was on the focus list. You're right here. You're welcome. All right. If you want it, there you go. All right. I'll also point out Avgo right here in the golden pocket, guys. Like if Nvidia earnings are good, this is kind of picture perfect for the chip stocks. It really is. Let's see what MU's doing. All right. It died. Okay. It died. It could die a little more, but you're probably going to find buyers stepping in. Like these guys, I'm serious. We have a broad market bounce loading. It looks like. You also have Rivian earnings after the bell today. All right, so that either, you know, is probably going to gap you up or gap you under this low, and then we're not going to touch you if it gaps under the low. If it gaps you up, we'll watch for a retest. All right, that is that, guys. That is that. With that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day, and peace.